Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. This is what a 117-member caucus looks like. This is, to quote the President-elect of the United States, sorry it took so long. Managing a caucus of 117 is complicated business. But we're thrilled with the results of the election last night, a historic night for an already historic majority to be able to maintain the level that we had with 117 members of the Missouri House, matching the largest Republican majority in the history of the state at a time when we were defending a lot of seats, and traditionally Democrat areas is particularly rewarding, and we're excited for the task that's in front of us. We had a productive caucus meeting today. It took a while, but we're really excited to come out of that caucus meeting with a united leadership team that is ready to get to work for the people of the state of Missouri. So I want to introduce that team to you now. Our new Speaker Pro Tem elect of the Missouri House is Elijah Hart. Mike Searpoy and Kevin Austin will be returning as our floor leader and our assistant floor leader. Our new caucus chair is Glenn Kolkmeyer. Our new majority whip is Steve Lynch. And returning as our policy development chair for the caucus is Jeff Messenger. In addition to this team of elected leadership, as we've done in the past, the budget chair, Scott Fitzpatrick, will join as a member of our leadership team. And this year, for the first time, I've asked the chairwoman of fiscal review to be a part of our leadership team, and that is Ms. Marcia Hafner. What we know after last night is that the voters have now spoken. The election's over, and our task is to get to work. This group behind me is some of the most talented. It's a group of the most talented men and women you will ever meet. I could not be more excited to be returning as the Speaker of the House with this kind of caucus, and we'll be spending the next couple of months getting ready to hit the ground running in January. With that, be happy to take any questions.
Eric Greitens ran on a platform that basically cast him versus anyone currently serving as an elected official in Jefferson City. How do you see yourselves overcoming that rhetoric in the months ahead, if at all?
Well, I don't see us overcoming it. I think each and every one of the people behind me embraces that rhetoric. There's been nobody in the Missouri House that served here for longer than 6 years. Each of us ran on a platform of change and taking the state in a new direction. So I think the message that resonated for Governor-elect Greitens in this election cycle is the same message that's resonated for our big House majorities as we've continued to win elections across the state. And that is, people want to see Missouri move in a better direction. And I know the people behind me are ready, as I am, to work with Governor-elect Greitens and make sure that we accomplish the priorities that this state expects out of us.
Mr. Speaker, I talked to Representative Reeder last month, and she told me that she would file right to work in January. Have you talked to Mr. Greitens about that A and B? I understand you're going to meet with him next Wednesday. Can you share any details on where that meeting will be?
Well, first of all, I haven't had a chance to actually speak with Eric in person yet. We've exchanged some messages back and forth. But look, Governor-elect Greitens and I will sit down along with Senate leadership, and we'll talk about what we think the next session is going to look like. But this General Assembly and this majority has been strongly committed to labor reform for a number of years. And I know that throughout the campaign, that was a priority for Governor Greitens as well.
Now that you do have a Republican governor in the office there, it should be easier to enact some things you want to enact. What would be at your top of the list about things to get done?
Well, I think it starts with some of the things that we have not been able to overcome a gubernatorial veto on for the 6 years I've been in office, and that starts with labor reform, tort reform, and education reform. So we're going to start working on the specifics of what that agenda looks like, but we want an agenda that we think helps move Missouri's economy in a better direction. We want a more vibrant, dynamic economy here in Missouri than we have today. We want one that produces wage growth that's growing faster than it is today. Wages have been almost stagnant in Missouri over the last 7 years. So those are the kinds of priorities that I think the people of Missouri expect us to work on, and that's what this majority will do.
Is it too
Well, I mean, look, we certainly have the ability to move things through this chamber, and the Senate has the ability to move things through theirs. I've said once today, and I'll say it again, it's a lot easier to count to 82 than it is to 109. And I anticipate that we'll be able to move some of those priorities that we've come up short on before.
Has the governor-elect said anything on the campaign trail that's a non-starter with you in terms of issues that he wants to pursue?
There's nothing that I can think of off the top of my head today that we would say is a non-starter. We're willing to work with the governor, and we welcome the opportunity to have a partner on the second floor.
Are there any plans to bring up the student transfer fix that's been twice vetoed by Governor Nixon?
Education reform will be a significant part of the effort we put in next legislative session. The student transfer bill was obviously where we ended up last. I think Governor Greitens is going to be more receptive to some of those issues than the current administration is, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to get something done there.
Do you anticipate any action on either prescription drug monitoring or lobbyist gifts?
Well, as I said at the last day of session, this past year, ethics reform will continue to be a priority for this General Assembly. I was proud that we were able to take some substantive, meaningful steps forward last session, but we know that that job is not done. So we will be back next year looking to restrict or ban lobbyist gifts. It was the preference of the House to ban them completely, so that will be a part of the House's agenda.
Is there any smoothing over needed from some of the campaign rhetoric that Greitens had in his commercials? He kind of called Jefferson City a cesspool.
I don't think there's anybody in this room behind me today, and I include myself in this, that's disappointed that Eric Greitens won this election. This group behind us is excited to have a Republican governor for the first time in our legislative careers. So I don't think there's any smoothing over needed. I think Eric has expressed a desire to work with this caucus. I think he's been sincere in that. He's expressed a desire personally to work with me, and I know he's extended that same offer to the Senate. So I think it's going to be a strong, productive working relationship.
Voters yesterday approved the voter ID measure, but if I recall right, it's contingent upon funding. So is that one of the things you need to tackle when the session starts, is to pass a supplemental budget that actually has funding for that?
Well, we're certainly going to fund it. It's been a priority of this General Assembly for a long time, and it'll be the mission of the budget chair to make sure that we do that in a timely fashion.
Are you concerned that the governor-elect has no political experience and may not know what he's doing when he's sworn into office?
I don't think the people of Missouri wanted to decide this election on who had the most experience. And I don't think the people of this country wanted to decide the presidential election on who had the most experience. I think what they want are principled people who are going to come in and shake up the way government operates, because they're frustrated with the direction of the state, they're frustrated with the direction of the country. So no, I'm not at all concerned. I know Governor Greitens will have, by the time he takes office in January, a strong, ambitious agenda. I know that this General Assembly is going to be ready to help him in the mission of governing this state, and I think we're going to be able to do some great things for the people of Missouri.
Voters approved campaign donation limits last night. Your reaction to that?
Well, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody. We'll see how. I know that it's already endured numerous legal challenges. I'm sure there'll be some more. We'll see how those come out. But when it takes effect, everybody will be ready to live under what the law of the land is. Thanks.
After you won 2 years ago, there were a few party switches, if I recall. Is your caucus aided by anyone switching party here, or anything like that?
As we stand here today, we have 117 members that were elected on election night, which is the highest that we've ever had. But we'll continue to welcome like-minded people to this caucus whenever we can. Thank you all very much.